Welcome to session DT120, which is on digital purchasing and automated production process from Beyond Simple. My name is Liang. My colleague Hardeep and I will take you through the overview and content strategy of SAP's Intelligent RPA in today's session. A brief intro of ourselves. Hardeep.
My name is Hardeep Tulsi and I'm part of S4HANA Product Success and Customer Co-Innovation team. I focus on increasing the adoption of intelligent technologies within S4HANA. I have multiple years of solution architecture and customer advisory experience, guiding them on strategic projects. I am also currently focused on product management for intelligent technology.
As for me, I've been part of S4HANA product management team since 2017, and I champion the intelligent robotic process automation topic for S4. I currently manage pre-built RPA content definition across different lines of business and industry sectors, and lead customer adoption activities for RPA. I've been a frequent speaker in industry events, customer forums, and guiding C-level conversations regards to digital transformation. Let's take a look at today's agenda. First, we will provide an intelligent automation overview with an intro of SAP's Intelligent RPA, giving more architecture and solution introduction. Then we'll preview the deployment of bots in Cloud Factory. Hardeep will talk through SAP Intelligent RPA best practice content with SAP S4 by explaining how to consume content via the RPA store. Some real-life business cases where SAP Intelligent RPA have a great proven ROI will be presented in the areas of production operations and automation for project-based services. Finally, we will review an end-to-end process from an account receivable and accounts payable persona point of view. Finally, we will conclude today's session. We at SAP intend to deliver an intelligent, integrated automation suite, leveraging RPA as an orchestration platform. In this diagram, we have three elements of AI working together. With RPA being positioned in the center, it executes repetitive, time-consuming tasks in user-defined workflow, where bots can run either attended or unattended mode. User interactions come with conversational AI. It assists user with access to peer for guidance and interactions, or for smart support with automated chatbot. It can then hand over further process activities to RPA. With machine learning services fully integrated in the RPA platform, bots can learn from customer-specific history and exceptions to predict or optimize business outcome. So in short, our intelligent RPA is where RPA are in the hands or the legs of the robot. Machine learning is acting as the brain and takes the decisions, and conversational AI plays an interfacing role to receive and disseminate instructions. Let's revisit the definition of RPA. RPA is a digital enablement technology that predominantly leverages a combination of user interface and service level features to create automation routine. RPA currently is one of the most popular forms of AI application areas, as it allows companies with legacy systems to automate their current workflow and accelerate digital transformation of business processes by automatically replicating tedious actions to free up human workers for more value-based tasks. There are two modes. Unattended bots are fully automated processes where robots are working autonomously with human supervision only. Examples are purchase orders sent to an inbox and have to be read and identified. Attended mode refers to partially automated process where robots are working with human, and also called robotic desktop automation. For example, an insurance clerk is called by a customer who has an accident. He doesn't want to click through X different number of systems to get to his data. He wants to have an overview, a dashboard of the results of many sub-steps needed to guide the required outcome. In this case, an attended bot helps the clerk navigate the system. There are a few key criteria to select automation cases, and typically we as a team help you review the opportunities and determine use cases applicable to your businesses. In general, we bucket 3 areas for automation opportunities. First is data collection. Typical requirement is to consolidate and manipulate data from multiple sources, such as Excel, vendor portal, SAP systems, or multiple applications touched by the user during a process execution. Examples such as Excel, Outlook, these productivity tools, or web applications, backend systems such as SAP S4, SAP legacy ERPs, or non-SAP systems. The second area has to do with collaboration or actions that require workflow triggers, tasks such as approval, follow-up with multiple stakeholders, monthly reports, or monitoring emails, or even integration to other systems. The third opportunity area is around productivity improvement. So any process can be accelerated and improved by a digital assistant. For example, the integration of chatbots with RPA is to perform operational work on users' behalf. Overall, RPA is to address manual, high-volume, repetitive tasks, bring data from various systems together, and sometimes provide a way to integrate multiple systems. There's a wealth of resources via SAP Cloud Platform to bring intelligent technologies and standard content to enable process excellence. To add intelligence to RPA, we leverage machine learning data services, which is provided an easy processing of documents for unstructured data to be embedded into the RPA workflow. And ML services used to also improve RPA training. For conversational interfaces, which can serve as a front end, we have integration through the platform with SAP conversational AI services. To discover automation opportunities, which we have multiple tools for, you can simply look at how users are using SAP system. Today, we can run a tool called Spotlight, which is a report highlighting the usage of process and to identify opportunities for further automation. For in-depth data analysis, we have a co-offering with SAP Process Mining by Celonis. With pre-built block content, we can maximize user automation experience in one single platform. Our intelligent RPA service is running on the SAP Cloud Platform and has 3 main components. First, the design studio is to capture user interactions, graphically designing the bot workflow. Second is the agent, which is a runtime execution of bots in various virtual on-premise or hybrid cloud environment. Factory is the third, which is the main platform, having an overview why robots are in action, to know percentage of work completion, manage deployment of bot agent, etc. With the above tooling, SAP Intelligent RPA lets you build and orchestrate intelligent bots, which can accelerate process automation. RPA works for SAP and a non-SAP system as a general purpose tool. Our predefined contents, of course, for SAP applications, but we have very specific connectors built in to the platform to allow quick integration with productivity tools and browsers. Now, we will take a look at the tools in more detail. The Design Studio, which is a suite of tools in an integrated dev environment focusing on process automation development. It covers specification and development perspective with an application capture, and a code editor and a workflow designer, and many, many more development features or widgets. For instance, via the studio, you can manipulate different data objects through a library of SAP GUI interfaces to help ensure action triggered by your bots are secure, stable, and fast, and follow application standards. Relevant GUI activities can be dragged and dropped in the workflow designer tool and used in the visual editor and step-by-step debugger to improve compliance and analysis capability through the audit trail. Direct access to Microsoft Office, such as Excel, Word, or Outlook, are also supported through our connectors, as well as some other third-party tools. In addition to the desktop studio, the SAP Intelligent RPA Cloud Studio is the web application used to design bots to automate your application in a much more simpler way. Achieve our vision for no-code approach to process automation, allowing business users to build bots without having to write a single line of code, just by dragging and dropping elements in an automation canvas. In the Cloud Studio, business user can record all snippets of his large processes and store them in a cloud via process recorder. And then the snippets can be organized via the studio to make a bot to automate the intended process. The business user does not have to have a programming experience, yet via the simple process recording and workflow assembly, the bot can be created easily and quickly. Currently, the studio is part of the SAP Intelligent RPA 2.0 release. At the time of this recording, 2.0 is in beta and expected to be generally released later this year. Know that when SAP Intelligent RPA 2.0 will be released, the 2.0 feature will automatically appear in your SAP Intelligent RPA tenant without you having to do anything other than update your agent to the latest version and run the new 2.0 feature. Next is the agent, which is the runtime execution of the bot. Currently, only Windows version is available, and it can be run either as attended or unattended mode, tied to the automation scenario created via the desktop or the Cloud Studio. The agent contains a set of connectors to interact with different applications and technologies and maintain variables for each application and a list of libraries with methods to interact with the application. With the agent runs in attended mode, it's able to start applications in full screen or compact mode, which can be visualized for cases such as training, contextual help, quick launch. In the example on the right, the system is used as a guidance for performing the main task for an end user, in this case, for the final approval confirmation. So putting together a workflow in the studio is very straightforward, using API triggers and notifiers, which simplifies the integration of external applications. And SAP Conversational AI and Intelligent Business Process Management are already connected. And let's see example of customer onboarding for a bank. Here, an RPA bot can be initiated by external application via trigger to verify lead, allowing to transmit parameters to the RPA bot. In the workflow, a rule is applied. For hot leads, bot is called to process lead and trigger approval in the workflow. When automation ends, RPA bot can send a status and some data back to the external application via notifier, in this case, an email notification to the customer. Now, I would like to hand it over to my colleague Hardeep to explain SAP S4HANA predefined RPA best practice content.
Today, I will be walking you through from the SAP Intelligent RPA best practices that are available on the bot store. These best practices are available for all the customers who are working the S4HANA or S4HANA Cloud. We will be looking at the different aspects of the bots that are available on the bot store, and you can find those easily by navigating into our SAP Intelligent Best Practices package that shows how the intelligence is introduced into the different end-to-end processes. This is a cloud-based platform that's with the set of tools that orchestrate and manage your bots. Let's take a look at how the design of these bots are done. There are unattended bots, which are the digital workers. They work while the business users are not available, and then they take care of the business transactions in an automated way to bring efficiency into their end-to-end processes. There are API-based bots as well as the UI screen navigation bots that can be worked as digital workers. And these are all connecting to the different processes within S/4HANA and making your automation while the business users are not available. Then there are attended bots, which are digital assistants. So these digital assistants help the business users in making their job more effective while they are working on certain tasks. For these bots as well, we have the UI as well as API-based navigation, which makes the bots very robust and effective in terms of automating the end-to-end processes. Next, we will look at how you can navigate into the SAP Intelligent Bot Store. There are different categories and where you can filter by either line of business, industry, or as well as free search the bots that you are looking for. You get the full description about the bot, what's new in those areas, what are the details behind that content is available to you in the documentation that we provide in the bot store. This is also now available to you to download the code files, which is you can modify the projects to fit your needs and download the projects and in these files along with the source code so that you can make enhancements as you need to fit your business requirements. We will now go into a real life business use cases where SAP Intelligent RPA has proven a great ROI. Leveraging pre-built bots for SAP S/4HANA manufacturing to increase the production operations efficiency is one of the areas where many customers are using the automation to help bring efficiency into their manufacturing processes. Business users are often required to create the manufacturing orders and then print out the production order pick list. This is now done with the digital automation. The digital automation helps look at the production orders that are due for confirmation and then perform the appropriate action to make the production order confirmed. The business users then go through the quality inspection through the inspection lot processing and update the usage decision with the help of digital automation. The users also monitors the progress of the goods movement and the activity postings with the help of SAP Intelligent RPA bot, which helps in making these post-goods movement easily accessible to the business users with the help of automation. Finally, the user sets the outbound deliveries based on the sales order and provide the proof of delivery. This is one of the process which helps the many companies in removing the manual work with the real-time information and then going into the automation, which helps them bring the efficiency into their production operations. We have certain scenarios in the delivery process where we continuously need the requirement to automate using the different tasks. The delivery process is a complex process where the users needs to upload the routes and transportation zone, create a combination of transportation zones and receiving transportation zones, assign those routes into the combination of departure and receiving transportation zones is a manual activity. And this is now done with the digital automation. The process bots provides an efficient way to upload these list of routes for transportation management. The planners can track the output of each route in a spreadsheet and submit the multiple routes in one request. This is often a case in the larger organization with the delivery process where users needs to upload routes, transportation zones, and assign these routes to the combination of departure transportation zone and receiving transportation zones. This way, we bring efficiency in order to track their routes, classify users by zone, and get the values of cost for transportation. This is one of the ROI that our customers are using with the help of digital automation. We look at the different scenarios for industries, and many customers have found the professional services industry scenarios to be most automated in terms of managing their terminated employees. Oftentimes, when the employees leave the company, it is necessary to update the open projects for which they are staffed to, as well as purchase requisitions and purchase orders created for services provided. This automation bot will identify all the employees whose contract will terminate soon and return a list of ongoing projects, purchase requisitions, and purchase orders. For the employees that are assigned to those target segments and also to those projects. The business users that can be using these automation are project managers, of course, and the purchasers that can benefit with the list of purchase requisition and purchase order that is provided. This is the digital automation area within the professional services, and it shows how it improves the efficiency and effectiveness of a project manager managing the different project activities. We have in the project environment where you have multiple project stakeholders working on the different commercial projects. When the employees are changing their roles, it is necessary to mass update these projects with the right project stakeholders at the project header level across all relevant projects. With this bot, we bring in the automation that helps the project manager to update the either a specific project or a mass list of projects for different project stakeholders like project managers, project accountant, project partners, project controllers. This bot also sends you an audit log for the changes that are done on the projects and give the complete control with the automated process to the project manager. With the project managers working on multiple projects, there are often requirements where the time and expenses are posted incorrectly to a WBS element and they need to be transferred to the correct WBS element. In order to do that, we have come up with a digital automation that allows you to mass transfer the relevant time records from the one WBS element to another, and also helps you reverse the posted transaction to the old WBS element which you are incorrectly posted and reposting them to the new WBS element. Let's take a look at the demo on how the project managers bring the digital automation to improve their business process for project-based services.
When the employees leave the company or change department or are on sick leave, it is necessary to update open projects with a replacement. Manually finding and changing all the project roles is very time consuming. Let's take a look at how SAP Intelligent Robot Process Automation helps keeping project activities under control with minimum human intervention. By making use of robotic process automation, you can quickly replace project stakeholders across all relevant projects and update optional project roles such as project partner, project controller, accountant, and that are left empty upon project creation. In a scenario where the project manager leaves a company, you can maintain a substitute by providing a old project employee ID as well as the employee ID of the resource that will be taking over. Once the project role updated is finished, the newly assigned resource will receive a notification by email and a log report is sent out at the end of the process listing down the projects that could not be updated due to errors, as well as the projects that are successfully updated. After logging into the system, the new project manager finds the open projects available in the plan customer projects and plan internal projects Fiori apps. Thank you. Oftentimes, in the project-based services, the project is set up wrongly or posted by mistake to a WBS element. All time entries and expenses charged to an incorrect WBS element need to be transferred then to the correct one. When there are many postings involved, manually transferring them can be very time consuming. Let's see how SAP Intelligent Robot Process Automation helps keeping the project activities under control with minimum human intervention. By making use of robotic process automation, you can mass transfer relevant time records from one WBS element to another. This involves the reversal of posted transactions in the old WBS element and reposting them to the new WBS element. The project manager can enter the required selection criteria applicable to the time transfer in the input pop-up. The bot will then validate the selection criteria and checks if the old and new WBS element belong to the internal project. If the bot is executed in the test run mode, a report will be compiled with the time entries that were identified based on the selection criteria. The project manager can review the report and choose the timesheet record that should be transferred. The outcome of the bot execution can be verified by the project manager in the Notify Missing Time Fury app. A log report is sent out at the end of the process listing down the timesheet records that were not reversed and reposted due to errors, as well as timesheet records that were successfully processed will also be listed in the log report. Thank you.
Let's take a look at how the intelligent technologies help the different end-to-end business processes. We have the machine learning and deep learning that helps provide the scalability across the enterprise IT infrastructure. Then we have bring the next generation interactivity, which gives the business user an experience based on the voice, vision, and messaging to replicate how people interact in the real life scenarios. With intelligent robot process automation, we bring in the efficiency to automate the different business processes right from the different business areas like HR and going into the finance and procurement. Let's take a look at it, how it helps the account receivable manager. Account receivable managers are able to make accurately financial transactions, monitor cash inflow to highlight profit, foster strong working relationship with their customers by resolving their disputes. In their daily activities, which comes into the invoice to cash process, they have to go through a number of tasks: monitoring the incoming emails for the payment invoices, uploading the payment invoice files, reconciling the open invoices and payments, then alerting if there are any skipped invoices in the documents that we receive from customers, then going and notifying the customers of the dispute cases, monitoring the incoming emails and update dispute cases. Let's take a look how intelligent technology help account receivable managers in doing all these tasks. And this is where we have these intelligent technologies bringing the efficiency and effectiveness to account receivable process, where we have bots looking at the incoming emails that are coming for the payment invoices documents from the customers and loading it into the S4HANA. The machine learning look at the payment details that are automatically extracted from the PDF document, and the payment invoices are created in S4HANA. Machine learning then helps automatically make payments with the open receivable and clear payments. Automatic processing of payments. The process starts with the import of bank transactions, and SAP have standard clearing rules, but oftentimes the significant number of payments require manual processing. Reprocessing of the bank statement tile will provide you the list of open payments, but account receivable clerk or an account receivable manager going into each of these line items, following up with the customers on these open payments takes a lot of manual activity, which is where we bring in the machine learning, which runs an inference job that sends these open items to the machine learning service and return the proposal based on the configured auto clearing thresholds. The proposals satisfying the confidence thresholds are automatically cleared. Historical clearing information is also induced as an intelligent ML matching criteria, and in cases where the machine learning doesn't meet those criteria, then the multiple proposals for the payment are sent to the AR accountant, where he can run the reprocessing steps to perform and accept these proposals and apply to the account to clear the payments. Situation technology helps us alert when the invoices are missed in the payment advice document. Today, the account receivable accountants only find out about the invoices deliberately excluded from the customer payments once these payments are received, processed, and allocated. This information is usually presented by the customer payment advice document, which is received several days before the actual payment. Situation technology helps us identify these skipped invoices in the payment and in a proper period that is required for the account receivable accountant to act proactively and identify this information at the right very moment will give the business user extra time to act upon these unpaid invoices. Finally, the bot will follow up with the customer and notify the customer on the dispute cases and sends an email confirmation with the dispute case number. Bot will also help in getting the customer follow-ups and finding out the notes from the customers and attaching it to the dispute case. This is how the bot helps you extract the payment advice documents that are coming from the email and uploading it into S/4HANA. This is a standard bot that is available on the SAP Intelligent Bot Store. We have the dispute case creation, which is also part of the account receivable process, and this is available as well on the bot store. This is how the bot creates the dispute and follow up with the customers on their response and attach it to the dispute case. Let's take a look at Accounts Payable Manager, where they are able to create the supplier invoices easily, close faster period end closing, and communicate with the supplier effortlessly. They have to go through the number of tasks like uploading the supplier invoices from emails, reconciling the GRIR postings, collaborating with the processors to clear those GRIR accounts, creating the supplier down payment request, replying to the supplier invoice status request, and then checking the completeness of the supplier master data. Let's take a look how the intelligent technologies help with the GRIR process. And this is where we have the clear goods receipts and invoice receipts accounts. So the GRIR reconciliation is important when there are incoming goods and incoming invoices, and the difference of amounts or the quantities between the invoices and goods receipts are the reason why the FI documents cannot be cleared automatically. In scenarios where the goods are not delivered completely or the wrong goods are delivered, there are cases where there are errors in the invoices and goods or invoice receipts are not entered correctly. These are some of the learnings where the machine learning analyze the unclear postings and clear those postings with predefined thresholds and recommend the next steps for the FI posting on the purchase order item. Then we have intelligent technologies taking the complete accounts payable process, where we look at different scenarios like bot finds the supplier invoices that are coming in the email, then machine learning classifying these GRIR postings, make mismatches and recommending the next steps. The SAP technology for situation helping if there are changes on the processes and the GRIR item details, then bot creates the supplier down payment request and posts the journal entry. The SAP Intelligent RPA also automatically reply to supplier invoice status check request and ensures the supplier master data to avoid any errors during the payment proposal runs. With that, we have shown you how in this session the intelligent technology help the different end-to-end business processes. We have different other sessions that are available to you to take a deep dive into digital purchasing, implementing bots with RPA, getting started with your first intelligent ERP use case, and standardizing the consumption and operation of machine learning in S/4HANA. Please take a look at our SAP Intelligent RPA store and Learning Hub and blog posts that will help you understand more about these intelligent scenarios. Combining your learning experience from the TechEd, you will get an exclusive path to build and maintain SAP solution skills anytime and any place. You can take a look at the TechEd participants' presentations and deepen your learning experience from this TechEd. Thank you for attending this session. If you have any questions on the follow-ups, please contact us at these contacts. Thank you.